How's everybody doing out there? This is the Black Effect, the real Black Effect. I want to do this video about Dee-1 and Jim Jones. I want to weigh in on this situation. About Dee-1, Jim Jones, and also about Dee-1, Rick Ross and all of those other artists he was speaking on, and about the state of hip-hop and how the artists need to evolve. This is also going to be the last video, the last video that I do on the channel this year. Channel's gonna go under construction, and we're gonna come back next year and going strong. I'll probably still produce some shorts, but again, this is the last video that I'm gonna produce for the year. We're going under construction, but I want to talk about this situation. There's many rappers who are right from the generation of the golden era. A lot of those rappers are pushing 50, pushing 40, 50. Look at Cameron, Mace, Jay-Z. The list goes on and on. Redman. These rappers are pushing a certain age. Now Nas, but there needs to be evolution and growth shown in the music to match your age and your lifestyle. Like, this is why people look at you crazy if you still perpetuating a certain type of lifestyle and you're a certain age. Like, it is like rap, first of all, it's a young man's game because it's a lot of foolish naivete. You're naive to get played out in the streets, and you're naive to be. It's usually for the drug dealers. The goal is to get the money and to go legit. They're no longer dibbling and dabbling in the illegals because that defeats the purpose. But see, rappers try to have some sense of bravado. They sell a WWE persona, but they know that we know now that it on the male end and on the female end, this acted out in the culture because this is a culture that looks for fathers, looks for leadership, looks for guidance, looks for things to make them, to give them our self-worth. And our culture is, we're a people who, as I'm talking about blacks, inner city youth, and that culture bleeds into other cultures as well, other nations. But this is for blacks and Hispanics, the inner city youth. This culture is all that we've had because our culture has been taken from us as blacks and American black men. The so-called African Americans. No, these are the chosen people of God. Our culture has been stolen, so we adopted this bastardized culture. So we have big brothers, people we've looked up to, people who've got us through a lot of things that's been in the music, man. We feel like we know them personally. We know them intimately from their music. So it should be an evolution. I agree with Dee-1 that there should be an evolution in your music. You know what you're doing at this point. There is no more naivete. You know what you're doing. A goes to B, cause and effect. This is what you're doing. Yes, I'm not saying, you may get some people who listen to your stuff and be like, I know this is just music. I know this is just WWE. This is just phony and fake. That's why I can't listen to this music these days. I don't want to listen to anything that I know is phony and fake. And I can't listen to something that I know is just super authentic but lacks talent. And that's leading a lot of people to towards death and destruction and into hell. I can't listen to that. You know what I'm saying? It makes me cringe. And you don't have to listen to, you listen to whatever you want to as an adult. You should know, how to separate those things. But also, like I said, as a mature person, you should, like, these things, the stuff you take in, this is like what really shapes. It starts to get internalized in you. That's why you be wondering why you see niggas running, listening to trap music all day, running, and now they got attitudes. These are niggas who, hostile and stuff like that. You wouldn't have that same type of attitude if you was listening to, riding down the street, listening to some gospel. That'll change the whole spirit and trajectory around you. Or you riding down the street, listening to some R&B or just anything. You won't have the same attitude. That it is. It's the spirit behind a lot of things. You got to understand that. And people, a lot of people like Jim Jones and others, they can't turn the corner just yet. They don't know, and they don't have the faith enough that if they do try to change up their music, that they don't have the faith that they whole fan base, that they fan base will ride with that. And I understand that, because a lot of people, they would lose a lot of fans. But that's how it is when you're willing to step out on truth and be a trendsetter and be iconic. Look how people looked at J. Cole. J. Cole is now one of the best rappers, you know what I'm saying, to go down as one of the best rappers in the game. But people slept on him, people still look at him as being lame and things like that. But but he's still making his money. He's still the best rapper. He have the accolades. You're gonna have people always murmuring about something in the corner. But what do you want them to say? Do you want them to be talking, to say you're doing something positive and be mad about that? Or do you need them to be murmuring just because on some hood nigga shit? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this nigga right here be talking crazy, talking about the dead. Or this nigga right here, I heard stunting on it with the chains and whips and got all these, doing always talking crap. Like, it's always something negative. Or this nigga right here then slap my cousin, slap my little son, like how Tony Yayo and Bodyguard slapped Jay Prince's little son. All this foolishness, man. Or a nigga came up, ran up on me, ran up on the ops. Do you want to be talked about because of that? Or talked about because of you doing something positive for the Lord? Or you doing something positive for this world? Like, you for the youth, for the people you owe. You owe these people in the ghetto. That's the thing. A lot of rappers, the reason why people should look at y'all the side out now, because they like, better. You know what you're doing, but you still come in there and selling us this foolishness. And you owe us. We the ones who edified you. It used to be that it was the guys, the real gangsters, the niggas who done been in the pens, niggas who doing life. They would edify and get behind the rappers and make sure that they made it. The rappers weren't necessarily the dudes just doing all of that, selling all the coke. But they would make sure some of them, it got like that after, Jeezy and all that. But it didn't used to be like that, Rappers were talking about, were commentating on what they saw. They wasn't no punks. They were from the neighborhood, but they were commentating on it, and people got behind them. The neighborhood did. But see, now, like I say, it's like you turning on the neighborhood. You kamikaze in the neighborhood, going back into the neighborhood, giving their sons and daughters guns and drugs and stuff like that. Are you stupid? The people have woken up and spoken. That's who have to take down this power structure, this toxic structure of music and culture that we've built. They're the ones who supported it. They're the ones who have to take it down. See, people outside the culture, they just see it as like some guilty pleasure. They can jump in it, jump out of it, jump in, jump out. They want to be hood or gangster when it's convenient, ratchet when it's convenient. They may go out and look ratchet with with the women in the culture, but then when it's time, they go into corporate jobs, or they married, or they not like that. Like, they'll never go to the hood talking about holding a Draco or something like that. It's all a money grab. It's all a sick game to them. They know what they're doing, but yet and still they can't stop making the money. They don't have other avenues set up. That's the main thing. They know they don't even have any confidence or faith they can do anything else. So they just basically forgo their integrity. And that's what Dee-1 is calling out. I mean, this is all written from, in the Bible. We understand how these things work. Like, Hollywood is basically satanic, and the power of the tongue it's very powerful. And we've noticed that, like, we've changed the culture with music. Like, black people have like done a lot and united people, even with hip-hop. Hip-hop united a lot of people and brought a lot of people, made them aware of the actual plight and struggles of black people. You didn't have YouTube before, so that was our commentary and basically our social commentary, but it got bastardized. And if you have something that's basically becoming negative, and if you're a person who in the game who know better, it's no reason for you to be talking like that. The dude Dee-1's right. Like, it's just time to show some growth, man. I don't want to hear Rick Ross coming and talking about doing. And man, we already knew what he was saying was phony, but I don't want to hear him talking about that at 50. An older man with no wisdom who's still acting like a young man, that guy to me is sad. Like, I look at that as being like, that's not cool anymore. That guy's looking pathetic. And that's just how people consume that. So the dude Dee-1 again is right. And if you take rap, he's smart too. You could just look at it, just be smart, man. You ain't gotta talk about all that. Look at other genres. You ain't gotta talk about just total negativity to be creative. And if you don't do all of that, or you at least do it in a creative manner where people, don't need, you got to do it where people don't, it's just not outright and people don't know what you're talking about. But I don't advise that. Again, negativity begets negativity. And like rap culture, that culture is just begetting negativity. The women, they always got to be talking about some women is against them. They got to always have those type of lyrics, basically the milder version of the men. And we getting tired of that. Like, you don't have to do that. If you actually don't do that, you can get bigger. Just show your creativity. It used to be a time where if you didn't have street credentials, you couldn't even get into the game. Like, people would look at you side-eyed. And that's ridiculous. Even like I said, to this day, people look at J. Cole as being lame. But look, what I'm saying is I agree with the dude Dee-1. Like, it's time, and there ain't no reason to be beefing with him. Like, Jim Jones, bro, there ain't no reason to have your peoples beefing with him. Like, come on, man, that's low-hanging fruit, bro. And that's a dude who's trying to be positive. That's a dude who actually, who don't wish you no harm. You know that. Like, come on, Jim Jones. I know you a dude who got a big heart. I know you a dude who know that dude don't wish you no harm. And it is time, bro. You a dude who can rap too. Jim Jones can rap. And like I said, I know Jim Jones know about the Lord, bro. You might have forgot about him and tried to, run off and live that life, man. But I know you know him, and I know you know about the Lord. And like I said, you can make you're creative. You can make some creative stuff. You can actually go other the avenues as well. Nigga didn't have reality show. I know you're not broke. You don't have to sit around here. And if you don't, and if you even went and got other artists, you can school them and mentor them, bro, and train their lyrics. They ain't gotta be out here talking that foolishness. You feel me? Like, again, that only goes so far. The rappers who really out here living that type of life, do you understand that though a lot of those dudes are perfect for this satanic system because they end up dead or in jail before they can even capitalize on their own riches or success, and then the label just take it all. And that's the best thing to do. So at the end of the day, bro, just like as the brothers, it's a way to do things, but the dude can't really get in touch with y'all. Y'all wouldn't even pay attention to him if he wasn't doing it this route. It's the same way, with a lot of us brothers, we gotta do, come out and start screaming. Like, first we trying to talk normal and get people attention we ain't just trying to get the attention of the righteous or nobody who know everything about, the Lord and doing everything perfect. Nah, we want the attention of the secular people, the lost, the children of Israel. That's why, you're gonna need more rappers who know the Lord coming into the game. Pac, man. Pac is the best rapper who ever lived. And he was, look at all his imagery. Look at how Pac was talking in his interviews, man. He was he was showing growth. Growth like this. Jay-Z even show a little growth, but look at Nas. Like, Nas is showing growth. That's what you could do. And, the old school rappers are having more longevity, man, because talent is timeless. So listen before we just jump to conclusions, man. Or just jump to violence, bro, or jump to harm another brother, or jump to taking things wrong. Like, the nigga Rick Ross automatically take it wrong. He wants somebody the nigga got a nest on his head. Like, bro, everything ain't a joke, bro. Like, come on. So, hey, but people are shifting, man. We tired of this stuff. More and more people I talk to just don't listen to modern day rap, man. So, because, you need to start putting some talent into this stuff, creativity. It's not all about negativity. So with that being said, it's the Black Effect, real Black Effect. I'm gone.